Welcome everybody back to the Domcast, episode 38. Yeah, time flies. It seems like we were just here. We had a good 2 hours last week. Don't think we're gonna get there this week, but I do have my co-host here. Say what's up, Rodney.
What's up?
How y'all doing?
Yeah, we are doing great. The Celtics still sit atop the Eastern Conference. I think we still stand king right now, as far as I know.
Yeah, y'all still is.
It feels like none of the good teams played this week. I don't know. But we did get more injury news. We didn't even discuss this off camera. Rod, your boy Vooch is out for a whole month, isn't he? How bad did he? Did you see him turn the ankle? I didn't actually see that yet.
I mean, personally, I didn't watch that game because I figured we were gonna lose anyway, which we did. But it's not just Vooch. AG sprained his ankle in that game too.
What?
So
why didn't I hear that? Wait, what game was this?
Toronto game.
Oh, okay,
so they both sprained it, and I'm pretty sure in the second quarter.
Damn.
So yeah, we're going to be.
The score was close though.
When I saw it, it was like.
I mean, yeah. Once they got hurt, it was a wrap.
Damn,
Okay.
They both got hurt in the same night. So, but Gordon's isn't as bad as Vooch.
No, Vooch is a home run.
Yeah,
I saw the box score. He only had like 10 points, but he only played like 10 minutes.
Damn,
like, what happened to this man?
Okay, so AG will probably be back. He seems like a run-of-the-mill sprain for him, but Vooch is gone for now, 4 weeks. You want to tell us who's starting in his
Time
spot?
for Obama, baby.
Is that who Steve Clifford is handing the reins
it
to?
Gotta be. It can't be Kim Perch or nothing.
I mean, we don't really have any other options.
What was the name of the dude you just said?
Perch.
Yeah.
Perch.
He was. He decent when he gets some burn, ain't he?
Obama's fifth pick, man. Come on, man.
But I mean, the main issue with the Magic, whether Vooch is there or not, still stands for the fact that we're last in the league in field goal percentage and last in the league in 3-point field goal percentage, and we routinely shoot under 40% as a team. So he can't win games like that.
What's Mo Bamba looking like on as far as a floor spreader? Because I've seen him take threes before, but I don't know. Do you know what he's looking like? Because I know Vooch can shoot the ball, obviously, but I don't think we know Bamba is like a Vooch type shooter.
Well, he shot a 3 in college.
Yeah, and
I've seen him hit
up.
threes before in games, but my thing is just right now I just don't know how he fits as a player or what his game is or what his game can develop into just based on how I see him play right now.
So you're not optimistic about this starting job that he's about to get?
No, I'm not, to be honest. I'm not optimistic for the Magic right now anyway.
Again, it's only because Vooch is the best player, so of course you don't have time to put the hours in.
Right.
To be honest, if Isaac can start playing better offensively, that would probably be the most optimal possibility.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this would be a good thing for y'all because the whole problem, the whole Mo Bamba problem I've been talking about for a while anyways, was the fact that he was drafted behind Vucevic, who's an all-star center. Didn't make a lot of sense. Got injured last year, whatever his injury was, played 47 games. He only started 1 game in his career so far. Played 12 games this year. He is averaging 4 points and 4 rebounds, shooting 23% from 3. Okay.
How many minutes he averaged?
This year he averages 13 minutes a game. So
yeah, see, I believe.
See, I just don't understand why you draft someone at number 5 and then just have him be.
Well, to my understanding, when I guess the point guards they wanted was off the table, so I guess you draft the best available player.
Right.
But it wasn't sure. It wasn't a concrete that Mo Bamba was the best available player.
Facts. So I'm looking at your guy Birch because I do remember him. I'm pretty sure I remember him from the Toronto series. You're not really gonna tell much from numbers on him either. I don't know, fam. We just started.
I know he came from the Lakeland Magic team, G League team.
Yeah, and he's actually been around since 2017. I did not know that. Okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, y'all send. He doesn't.
I do like his style of play. He like a undersized center, but he get at it though.
He don't stretch the floor at all. I see. He
Not
don't
at
even
all.
take threes. Yeah. So yeah, I think they'll be let ball. Unleash the Bomber, bro. I'm going to unleash the Bomber. Right. So you got to get some burn. So yeah, that's the Orlando Magic situation. We're gonna clown them weekly just because we're local. We are here. we're up close with them. I want to start off by asking a really weird question. Do y'all miss the Warriors at all? Is there any?
Nope.
Nope.
Not at all.
What about you, Rod? Do you miss the Warriors?
I wouldn't say I miss them, but I'd rather them not be in such a dilapidated state.
Yeah.
When you say war, you mean without KD? It's Curry and Clay.
I'm talking about the Warriors as we've known them for the last couple of years.
I don't miss them. I do miss a healthy Curry and Clay though.
Yeah.
But KD, I'm good on that.
I mean, I'm fine with a Warriors team minus KD, but a Warriors team when literally everyone is going in and out the hospital ain't really a Warriors team I'm really trying to see.
Yeah, this season definitely is. I mean, it's missing all three of them, Clay, KD, and Steph. Just, of course, you don't really want to see them on the same team, but the basketball is definitely more fun when those guys
You're not
are
gonna
playing.
mention Draymond?
Huh? I'm not gonna mention Draymond. Nah, he's still here. We still got
He's
Draymond.
point guard, ain't he?
He played point guard for a game, I believe. I don't know if he started, if he kept
okay.
starting after that, but yeah, I'm actually I'm checking out the Magic on December 1st. We're gonna have like Draymond versus Markelle Fultz out here.
Wow,
They come here.
headliners.
If the Magic lose that game, bro, they owe us our money back. But I was just because this is the first season. Like, well, first of all, as y'all know, we discussed off the podcast, the ratings are like way down apparently for the NBA. I don't know a whole lot of details, like whether it's like domestic, whether it's like global. So I don't know how much the whole China thing affects that, or how much of it is like the Pelicans and the Warriors having so many national games, and neither one of them have any of their headliners basically. But it is interesting because. So for that, like that would make sense because without a dynasty team, right? Like without a dynasty team like the Warriors, or without a villain team like the Warriors, I think a lot of casual fans aren't really as interested in the NBA without that. Whereas fans like us who keep up with the day to day, this is beautiful for us because we got something to watch every night. But yeah, it's not weird for y'all at all not having a because we grew up in this whole 2010s thing has been a villain team always. Like it's been the Miami Heat. And then from the Miami Heat, you took maybe a year off, I guess, and then right after that went to the Warriors. So it's not really weird or different for y'all.
I think it definitely has to do with injuries and scheduling because almost every night or a TNT night, if you just look at the team that's playing, might be one good team, but the other team will be somebody that's under 500 or just barely skating by that preseason projections would have had them doing better because injuries or other circumstances wouldn't have happened. So I feel like that's definitely playing a role in how into the viewership.
Yeah, saying to piggyback on him, I think it's a combination of all those things. And also, you brought up casual fans. I met a chick yesterday. She ain't know nothing about basketball, but she knew who Curry them was.
Exactly.
And the Warriors. So, yeah, that dude takes into it. But it's hard to determine what's the metrics, how they rate their ratings.
Yeah. I think the NBA, low-key, likes seasons like the actual the management and stuff. I think they like what they've had for the last few years. I think they like the whole super team thing because
like the owners and stuff, or
I'm talking about like just management in general, the people who would be caring about viewership and stuff like that, because casual fans are going to be pulled in when there's a team like the Warriors or when there's a team like the Heat. Even if they call it boring, the ratings show like people keep up with that more. When the Miami Heat and LeBron James and Wade are playing and there's a team that you think might be able to beat them on one night, people tune into that game because it's a black hat thing, it's the villain. So it is kind of I don't miss it. Go ahead.
Do you think load management might be affecting ratings too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It depends on the game, definitely. Because even for me, like I'm gonna keep it real. If there's a game I plan to watch and somebody really important is sitting out, I'm tuning into that game for a couple minutes just to check out a couple guys and I'm bouncing. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna watch a whole game of no Kawhi Clippers. Like I'm just not gonna do it. It's like I can't. That's more of a chore. And the fact that I'm pretty sure the Clippers probably have a good amount of national TV games this year, and you have to wonder if Kawhi is going to play every night. He is going to play tonight against the Rockets, so that's a good thing going on there.
Both of them playing?
Yeah, Kawhi.
Oh, that's what's up. Finally.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting because last week Rockets fans was talking mad cash with the
they made a statement.
Yeah, it was mad cash last week. So if they end up losing tonight, now you got Paul George back and Kawhi. Well, this is what the playoffs will probably look like.
And I also want to see Paul George and Westbrook.
And I want to see the defensive scheme too. Yeah, like how because the whole reason I'm not having your star guy, guard Harden the whole game is fouls and foul trouble and energy expansion. So
I heard that take. Well, why wasn't Kawhi guarding
Shannon Sharp, right?
Yeah,
I don't get that. Like you don't. That's the whole time. Even let's take it back to early 2010s. Stars don't really always guard each other.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, like early 2010s, it wasn't always LeBron and KD on each other every play. That didn't make. And I'm pretty sure in the finals, 2012, they were using like Shane Battier to try to.
The only
guard
time
KD
on the switch you might see them, but other than that, it's not happening.
If you have your guy who has like a major usage, usage rate on offense, you don't want him to then have to guard the other team's best star the entire night either. You know what I mean, like that. And that don't make a lot of sense coming from Shannon Sharp because they've done the same thing with LeBron James. They've done the same thing with a lot of stars. Like you don't see stars.
Yeah, you're right. You got a point there. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's my team and my star, like I don't really want my star guarding the guy for that reason and for the foul trouble again, especially if it's James Harden. Especially if it's Harden, because
well, Paul George last year did guard some of the best superstars.
Yeah, and that's because that's his specialty too, right?
Yeah.
That's one of his he's two-way superstar. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? And so again, now that's why I'm interested in tonight's game because you'll probably be able to cycle between like a Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverly, and a Paul George. You can cycle some of that,
Right.
especially with Kawhi being load managed. I'm pretty sure a regular season game they don't want him going like 40 minutes on Harden.
Definitely not.
So did we come to the conclusion that Kawhi is actually injured now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
missed
had,
3
oh, no,
games
he had a
straight.
knee
This was
contusion.
this was a contusion. That was an actual
Yeah,
thing.
he was hurt.
Apparently, he was limping after the Houston game. I didn't see any tape.
Well, I
on
know
this.
he had the knee wraps on both of his knees. But I don't know he was limping.
This time it was a contusion, so this was the actual injury that he had this time.
He looked kind of fragile though.
Yeah, but he's still fifth on the. We'll get to the MVP ladder later, but I was surprised to see even with the low management, he's fifth on the MVP ladder this week.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Well, yeah, I found the Black Hat thing interesting because it just kind of started to hit me this week. So I guess this week specifically because of like the lineup of games, it didn't really seem like there was anything that great on. And it's like I remember like the previous seasons when you had a team that was a villain or whatever, and like even if they were playing a sorry team or whatever, they were on TV. It seemed like people tune in. I don't miss it, but like I was just looking at it as implications for the league because of the casual side.
right. Like the Black Hat only applies to people that want to mess up the balance. So like super teams. We don't have a super team, so it's like there's no reason to be mad at
super teams, or I guess you would say like the team that won the previous year. And so that's what's really weird about this year because nobody expects the Raptors to win again. You know what I mean? Nobody's taking them.
So Black Hat can be people that won the previous year.
Wait, because think about it. Back when the Lakers had went to the finals 3 times, like
It's all about like, are you gonna go back to back?
Yeah.
Or, like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so everyone's
some-
after you.
yeah,
Right,
Toronto,
right.
like no one thinks that.
Yeah, Toronto's a good team, but at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really expects that they'll be back in the finals this year.
Right,
It's kind of like if it happens, so no one's like, yeah, we got Toronto tonight, let's get it. Like, again, that's one thing I think that might be hurting ratings too, is that they're defending champion, the best player jetted or whatever.
Right.
And so like, if you're a casual fan, you don't care about the Raptors anymore.
No.
If you're a fan like us, like you want to see Siakam a lot. You know, I want to
Yeah.
see Pascal Siakam play. So, yeah, that's all pretty interesting. Just being this being the first season this decade, I think we don't really have a Black Hat has been very entertaining to me. I'm happy, but apparently the ratings are not. Somebody's lying because everyone said they ain't like the Warriors, but the ratings way down this year. So
Is it real bad? Like real?
from what I saw, yeah, I mean, people were like writing like doomsday articles and shit like that about.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm gonna enjoy my 10 contending teams, wondering if the Nuggets are gonna be there this year or not.
Right.
So yeah, speaking of that, last night's doubleheader, if you're not like a super fan or whatever, it sucked ass. It was the Bucks versus the Lillardless Blazers, and then the Suns and the Pelicans. But we did get to see Melo play. That was his second game. So what have y'all thought about Melo this week? Because we discussed him a lot on
Well, I
the
like
podcast
his second
last
game better than his first game.
Yeah,
like
as
his
it should
second
be.
game, dropped 18. I think it was 60% from the 3. I don't know if that means like 2 attempts or 3 attempts.
He was 3 for 5.
3 for 5. So he's doing his job.
Yeah.
It is that Lillard's out, so you should not expect no wins from
Yeah.
Portland, man.
I was
I
surprised.
like this performance though.
I was surprised they were even in the game last night. Rod, what do you think from our guy Melo 007? That's his new thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that play on.
I definitely thought I was gonna take some games from him to like get readjusted. So obviously he only shot 40% from the field in the last game, but the fact that he can still get his shot off and he's still getting decent looks, he just needs to get to the point where he can start knocking more of those shots down.
He get some games in. Again, he was in the gym for a whole year doing practicing. So
Nothing simulates like NBA speed
Absolutely.
and whatever. And like you said, for his role, because I was more, I wanted to see him on the defensive end because I was under the impression that was like the biggest reason he's been, let out anyways of the NBA. There's no, first of all, the Blazers don't really play defense this year. So Melo's not really playing defense either. But yeah, it's first couple of games back, but I don't expect that situation to get any better. It's a hard way to, like, I see people being really harsh on him. Like, his first game wasn't that good, and it was funny to just go, oh, look, here goes Melo again. But it's kind of hard to evaluate Melo on a Lillardless Blazers team because, like, he's like the second offensive option, basically, at that point.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Which kind of
and you have no front court.
yeah,
So like
and
what?
Whiteside is out too, so there's a bunch of people out. So then it's down to like Rodney Hood, C.J. McCollum, and Carmelo Anthony, and so they running a lot of plays for this guy who hasn't seen NBA action in a year, and so that that didn't really help anything. But I think in that when you consider that, like, he's looked pretty decent. Mostly his shots, like you said, are coming from 3-pointers. The little trailer 3 that they have, that little shovel pass when he's on a fast break.
I
or
just think
whatever.
people just look into his name. You look at what his production, how much he's getting paid.
Yeah, only
He's doing his job.
Yeah, it's not even guaranteed. Like he'll make $2 million if it
you
does
see
get guaranteed.
Carmelo and you assume, whoa, you know what I mean? No, just look at it. Look at his numbers he bring and how much they paying him.
Exactly,
He's doing his
yeah.
job.
Yeah. But to be clear, like we said last week, nothing has changed. When Lillard gets back, Melo is not going to fix the Blazers' problem.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Who's starting point? CJ?
I didn't pay attention to who was starting last night. I was watching
I don't
the
know
game.
who. I looked at the box score and I didn't
It was a
recognize.
blur,
I didn't
man.
recognize the name. I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah,
I know Melo's power forward, right? He's starting.
Yeah,
as
small forward, power forward. Yeah, their
gotta be
lineup,
powerful.
their
He
lineup was
can't
just
be
weird
small.
because I'm saying like Whiteside wasn't even out there last night, so like they're dealing with injuries across the board, really, and it's just got.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So I hope Melo doesn't get scapegoated again for this. For the Blazers. Like I hope it's not like 2 weeks from now they kick him off and it's like
They shouldn't. They haven't. They were losing before he got there.
Yeah, and because I know what happened with the Rockets last year, they scapegoated him from the problems basically. Or in the media, at least, it was a scapegoat thing. And the Rockets wasn't even a good situation because one of the commentators mentioned it last night. It's like when you on the Rockets, like D'Antoni, like he wants you to shoot threes, like straight threes the whole time. And Melo is kind of like more mid range guy. The Blazers are allowing him to do that. They're allowing him to post up a little bit, allowing him to get to the rim. For that's our Melo synopsis basically. For a guy that's been out for a year, he does not look terrible, I don't think. But this Blazers team is actually, if y'all didn't notice, the Blazers in the standings are below the.
They're like 5. I thought it was 5-11. I'm not sure. 4-11, 5 or something.
There's something crazy right now. We'll know the number at the end, but they're below the Pelicans. So the Pelicans are above the Spurs and the Blazers right now. Like things went south for them quick. Like the Spurs are 5-10 now. You knew that? Like at the time of this recording.
Well, I know when Lillard went out, they're like 4-8. So they gotta be 4-11.
And then there's the Spurs too. Speaking of the Pelicans, have y'all been paying attention to Brandon Ingram?
I haven't watched much Pelicans.
I know he's playing.
He's
really,
back?
I know he's playing really good basketball. I just haven't watched any of
Bro,
the
Ingram
games.
is fire this year. That man is
His
average.
contract here, ain't it?
Contract year, like
I mean, like next year he's
with the option.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is like he was just drafted like 2016. I
Well,
think,
Ben
something
Simmons
like that.
read up.
Yeah, I'm saying like it's an option thing, so like he wouldn't
Right.
get to decide to leave anywhere if he
Okay,
did.
gotcha.
But since y'all hadn't been paying attention, this is his breakout year. This is a breakout year for Ingram. Actually, he's averaging like 25 points right now, 26 points without Zion on the floor. Gonna be interesting to see how that works when he gets back. But yeah,
Zion gonna take a back seat. No, it's
says
just-
Zion. I'm only bringing that up just because I had been saying that Zion might not, even come back to play this year. But right now, we'll get to the standings. We might actually need to get to that right now because the standings are kind of fucked. The standings are so right now in the Western Conference, the Pelicans are still within striking distance of the A seed, and in the Eastern Conference, like we have a situation where the Knicks. They're 15th, and they're still like they can still make the playoffs. They're still there for like a seed. Like that's
the
what
bottom,
they.
the
That's
bottom half of the
disgusting.
East is disgusting.
That is so disgusting.
Bro, hold on. Yeah, let me look this up real quick. So I do the basketball
Because the
reference.
Magic, as horrible as they were at like the 7th seed for like a couple days
Yeah,
because of
they're
how
like-
bad it was.
They're like 2 games over 500.
Yeah, but this is typical East activity. So you have the top. Again, this is just like a repeat. We have the top 4 teams. Normally I do the standings at the end, but this is worth looking at. You have the Raptors, you have the Heat, the Celtics, and the Bucks. So, damn, we're not first anymore. Oh, we're 1 win behind the Bucks. Okay, so those are your top 4 teams, and after that, like it falls off a damn.
How many
cliff.
playoff teams are under 500 in the East right now?
How many playoff teams?
That's under 500.
1, 2,
See, that's
3.
ridiculous.
3. You have wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the Nets are A seed right now. Okay, no, it's 2 teams under 500, but then it's like some ugly records. Like the Pacers are 8-6, Philly's 9-5 because they've been struggling through resting Embiid and then Ben Simmons injuries. But this is the crazy part though. So New York Knicks are 4-11, and behind the Nets, they're 2 games. Okay, it's widened a little bit. They're 2.5 games behind the Nets.
If
At
Knicks
15
make the playoffs, you know what? This is just crazy. Knicks don't belong in the playoffs.
Strengthen my argument for getting rid of fucking conferences. That's crazy.
crazy, man.
That's crazy. We should not have a situation where right now in the East, any like the Hawks, Cavaliers, Pistons, like any of them Wizards, anybody can get in right now. Like
I can imagine if that happened 5 years. RJ led his team rookie year to the playoffs.
Yeah. That's
right.
gonna be the big thing, right? Is RJ came to the Knicks the first year and they went to the playoffs.
Playoffs,
Like my G, they were 4-11 to start. They won 30 games that year and made the playoffs.
Yeah,
East is looking fucking wild, bro.
that's crazy.
That's a disgrace. Yeah. Do you know the main thing about getting rid of conferences is always that travel time.
Yeah, they let you
Yeah,
use that.
yeah. Would it just be instead of you playing teams 4 times, you just play everybody 3 times.
Yeah.
Is that,
I mean,
so
Like for the first round, or you mean?
no, I mean because you play all the teams in the East play each other 4 times,
Right.
4 games, but if in the other conference you play them twice.
Right.
I'm saying, how would you like mitigate so that everyone's
Right.
have equal opportunity
Yeah.
to play everybody?
I think the biggest problem with the whole conference conversation mostly becomes about money, because then you start talking about like I saw this tweet. I don't know if y'all saw. I retweeted it, but they were also talking about like lowering games and things as well. And then like he just said, if you have these cross conference games or whatever, then like lowering the amount of games you play, it's all about money.
Well, I thought we eliminate the conferences when it comes to the playoffs only.
Well, no, because if you eliminate it for the playoffs, like you go through a thing where during the season, like it stops 16 teams, right? That make
16.
so then conferences serve no purpose other than maybe an all-star game or something like that.
Well, I'm saying if it's traveling, it should just only do it for the playoffs.
Right. Well, that's what they're saying. The problem is the playoffs. Like, say you have like a team like on all the way on the side of the East.
Let's say Portland's playing the Celtics in the first round.
Yeah, that's like cross country.
Okay, it's 2 games. You stay over there, you good. Come back. I'm not I don't know the finances,
Yeah.
but I don't see the big.
Yeah, I mean, I in my
Do
head,
sweeps, man. If you don't want to, if you worry about this, do sweep and get them out of there quick. Go back home.
That's not always possible.
I know.
though.
I'm messing with.
Yeah, in my head, I've already given up the whole conference fight. Like I've been fighting that since I joined NBA YouTube. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But
And plus, there's some owners that don't want that to happen either. So.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course.
But still, I just think like, I mean, life isn't fair, but it's kind of crazy that you'll have a team like the Suns in the Western Conference, who now they're 500, they're coming back to earth like we said they would, and but still, like if they were in the Eastern Conference, they'd be right in the thick of things probably for a playoff spot. Whereas
Absolutely.
in the West, by the time it's all over, they're probably gonna miss it by like the skin of their teeth.
I'm pretty sure like 4 teams right now in the West that's not in the playoff picture can make it.
Yeah, let me look at that real quick.
That's usually how it is every year.
Yeah.
For the
So-
past couple.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the Suns are 8 seed right now. They are. Let me just recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so Suns are 8 seed. Like I said, they're coming back to earth. So they're at 5 games. Yeah, right now you're still looking in the West actually. Yeah, down to about 13 or 14 seed. It's still early, so the teams are still really close. But this is how it is in the West again. This is how it'll be really close. And yeah, the Kings are actually 9th seed right now. Pelicans are 10th. I'm rooting for the Pelicans because I want Zion to come back. I felt like if they were all the way down there. Yeah, this early, technically the only Western team that's eliminated totally is Golden State because their situation's not getting any better.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Lillard was playing really good basketball before he was injured, so I'm not gonna just write them off.
How long he's out? What is the injury?
Was
Yeah,
it back spasms?
back spasms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They must be really bad to be missing games in the West. Like when you're down that far, must be like a really bad thing going on there. But yeah, it's still really early, so we'll see how it develops. But generally, you're probably gonna have this situation where East can be sorry and West can. That's probably how it's gonna end up turning out. Speaking of the Western Conference, so the top teams in the West right now, of course, you have the Lakers and Clippers are in the 4th seed right now. All the injuries and things have happened. But the Lakers at 12-2, everything looks really good, including LeBron James. He, in year 17, is having pretty much an MVP year. I think he is second in the ladder. And what do y'all think? Like, because this is a realistic thing that could happen. Like, with LeBron James, like, he never gets hurt, basically, except for last year. We're used to seeing godly things for him. In year 17, a Finals MVP, an MVP, and a ring. What would that mean for his ranking to y'all, like all time?
He ain't still not getting past Jordan.
He's still number 2, but he's not going to surpass Jordan with
He's number 2, but he's closer to 1. I don't know how you want me to break that down for you.
So you're saying right now, like if LeBron James,
listen, it's okay. Listen, I know I come off like I'm a Laker guy. I'm not a fanatic. Why just say ridiculous thing for the better of my team? But I just think Michael Jordan have a better resume.
Yeah, I mean we went through.
They were saying this. They brought this up when he did the 30 triple off every team.
Yeah,
Westbrook is right behind him. Fam.
Yeah, Westbrook.
He's the GOAT now.
Yeah,
Westbrook.
if Westbrook plays OKC, then he gets a triple
that's
double.
a completely. That narrative.
I'm just saying every accomplishment. Like we got to revisit the GOAT conversation. I just feel like.
But this one is special though.
Like, it is special.
This one is.
But
special.
fam, like. I just thought when you have a superstar next to you, it hurts your MVP chances.
It's supposed to, but again,
Like Giannis still by himself doing the same better numbers.
That's more into the MVP ladder talk, which is why Giannis is still to me going to be the front runner because his numbers are better and
he don't have a second star.
And Middleton is still out.
Yeah. So
even with a healthy Middleton, is not one of the best big two.
So the argument there isn't like who is above each other in the ladder. Like Giannis to me is still leading the race right now for a couple of reasons. Like his numbers are just pretty much better right now from what I know. And like you said, the supporting cast, which is gonna be interesting because if it becomes a thing like we're at the end of the year and it's between like Giannis, LeBron, Harden, for years
the narrative
now,
gonna push towards LeBron.
Well, no. I'm saying the narratives for years have always been when LeBron don't have a great team or he was missing his supporting cast for a certain amount of the year. That's why they say he should be MVP that year.
Right.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle that with Giannis missing Middleton for like a month and not having an Anthony Davis player on his team. Like that's gonna be real. I'm gonna want to see how they handle that narrative after years of pushing that LeBron didn't have this, so he should be MVP. Right. I want to see how they're gonna argue that with Giannis.
Gonna flip that boy.
Yeah. I want to see how that flips.
And Harden is a good third. Yeah,
absolutely.
If he averaged I heard he might average like 39 or something.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, it's
that's
pretty
wild,
ridiculous. We're gonna get to his conversation.
Shooters gonna shoot.
So we differ here. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not getting into any more debates. If he pulled that off, which again the MVP is gonna be kind of hard over Giannis this year because of the situations. But if LeBron were to pull off an MVP and a Finals MVP and a ring in year 17, like fam, I'm backing out. I'm backing out. Of the gold debate, I'm going home.
I'm saying, of course, LeBron do have a legitimate case. Is that I think Michael Jordan have a better case why he still is the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, because I did that whole video. I did the whole thing, laying out their resumes and showing, the awards that Michael Jordan had that LeBron did.
But however, if LeBron continued to do this prime in year 20, and he's still doing stuff like this, get his man the title.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of bow out at 17 if it happens this year. Again, that's a really high bar. Like anything could happen between now and then. But those three this year, like I don't think I would argue against anybody who called LeBron the GOAT anymore.
It is, I feel you.
I wouldn't argue with anybody about that.
Yeah.
Because
they don't get emotional too when they make this argument.
When you think about superstars in the year 17, like Dwight Howard's in the year 16 right now of his career. Right now he's a bench guy. Coming off of support for his title team.
Melo 16.
Yeah. You don't ever think of like year 16 or 17 guys being like still best player in the league material at this level. Like if it's a superstar that was like once the best player in the league, you're looking at him like in the twilight of his career. Right. Like he's still good, but now he's changed his game and stuff like that. Right. That really hadn't happened that much. He's still doing the same shit.
His body's like made out of adamantium. Like
vibranium shit. I wouldn't be able to make a good argument anymore that he wasn't the GOAT if he pulled it off this year. I don't think I would have a good argument anymore.
I understand. Yeah, I feel. I just still.
I get. Yeah.
His longevity is what making his case for it. The fact that he can perform at his level in this late in his career,
because the longevity is allowing him to break all these other records too, right? Like even if he didn't do it in the same time as Jordan did or whatever, right. Like longevity is allowing him to like stack it up, and
you can't really hurt somebody for being healthy,
And the crazier part we haven't even talked about right now is with this year 17 performance. He doesn't look like he's still anywhere close to slowing down. You know what I mean? At this point right now, maybe he'll wear down as the season goes on. I don't really see that. But this looks like he's about to blow right into 18 and 19, like still being, he hasn't really
play with his son.
Like, man. We haven't really seen
the descent.
A drop.
He gonna play with his son, bro.
You said what? He gonna play with his son? Yeah. Did y'all hear that actually? Y'all know they got ESPN games. They got like 15 ESPN games.
Yeah, with Bronny and Wade.
I saw that.
They got more than the Wizards or something like that. More national TV games than the Wizards.
LeBron gonna play with his son, bro.
What do y'all know his son's like what year in high school he is?
LeBron not slowing down.
Yeah. Because I think he would have to make it to year 20 to play with his son, I believe, to play with Bronny.
He got 2 years left after this one. Yeah, he can re-up. Yeah.
Because he signed 3 years with the Lakers plus an option year. Yeah. So that option was so it's that year like he could decide to go play with his son somewhere if he wanted to.
Yeah.
That's be like some movie shit, bro. After the career he's had, like you
check this out. If he get able to play his son. And at this level, he's the GOAT. I don't try to hit those. I ain't trying to hit nothing, man.
If him and his son go back to Cleveland or something,
yeah, like they win a ring or something. Like, come on, man.
If he win a ring with his son on the team, you shut it down.
Yeah, he's like that's Tom Brady said at that point.
Yeah, it's over. So yeah, we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves. It's only
That's wild.
Yeah, that would be crazy, right? Imagine him like
Throwing a lob to his son. That's crazy.
Right? Imagine the Lakers like he got the Lakers a title. After they made the playoffs all this time, helped the Lakers get a title. They go back to Cleveland and play with your son, and then like the Cavaliers not really doing shit right now, but then they start contending with him and his son back.
Yeah,
that sounds like some like fake, like some Skip Bayless shit.
Yeah.
Like that sounds crazy, bro. That sounds like when Skip said Michael was gonna come back at age 50 and like teach LeBron a lesson or something like that. Yeah, so that's the LeBron conversation right now. I'm just putting that on record in this podcast. I will back off. I will make no more arguments. If he pulls that off this year, you won't hear any more from me.
I hope they do win the ring this year though, regardless of MVP.
You hope the Lakers win this year?
Man.
Yeah, like I'm never around you when you watch Laker games. I never really seen that like Laker fan side of you.
Well, I don't tweet it. I don't tweet much.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you were more like in the Kobe. I feel like the fact LeBron is there is kind of like affecting you a little bit.
No, it's not.
I feel like if it was Kobe,
well, I just don't like LeBron fanatics. So they irritates me when I hear fanatics.
Yeah, that was
because every time he have accomplishment, they do these filter historical events when you do a lot of filtering and Basketball Reference to find some type of thing he only did. I just get real annoying.
You talking about like the NBA TV stat I posted?
Yeah,
you saw
like
that?
they filter so much stuff to find something only LeBron did.
It said like 300, like as LeBron at point guard, like 350 points, like 123 assists.
Like who looks this stuff out
through the first 13 games?
Right.
Like yeah,
that's kind of wild.
And plus, I've been working, but this week I'm gonna check out some Laker. I'm gonna throw out some Laker tweets.
Yeah,
I know somebody's trying to pull in my car right now. But yeah, I don't.
Because this is the first time I've been around you as the Lakers are actually good. So like, because all the other years they've been like,
I'm never here when we at on Lakers games on.
Right. Well, they play OKC tonight, so I'll probably turn.
I don't tune in those type of games.
That's a good one though. Right now though,
I don't.
Like OKC's still decent. Like right now, they're still decent.
Like when Lakers play the Warriors twice, I don't tune in no type of games.
Yeah, the Warriors is a little bit too far for me. I guess sometimes I want to check out the guy Pascal or whatever, but. Most of the time, I just want to see LeBron and AD play because I'm afraid of not, fully appreciating that. Because I'm afraid of not fully appreciating. So I turned like a game like OKC on. I'll turn it on tonight to see LeBron and AD.
OKC the highlight game. I go to highlights.
Yeah.
But like if they playing like actually playoff type teams, I want to check that and see how because that's what you playing against.
Yeah, definitely. I get that.
I don't care your stat line against some random team,
Especially because of time and stuff. I get that.
Yeah, fam. These games come on like 10:30. I don't got time.
Yeah, West games are still hard, bro.
They still hard to do.
The thing about West games is I will legitimately fall asleep, and I wasn't trying to fall asleep.
Right.
Like
I really thought they were trying to move the time up.
They said that everybody forgot about it. That's like some shit. Like I feel like only we heard that. That was like some different like quantum realm shit. Like we heard that they were gonna move West games up.
No, but I feel like it used to start later.
Say what?
I feel like they used to start later.
Nah, 10:30 always.
Yeah, I feel like they used to start like 11.
Hell no. Maybe nah.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Nah, that's crazy.
But yeah, West games, I'll be sitting on my couch, and next thing I know, I'll wake up and it's like 4 o'clock, and I wasn't actively sitting there trying to rest. Like it just happened. So it is what it is. So we were talking about James Harden and his MVP race. I believe he is 3rd or 4th right now. We'll check when we get to the ladder. Did y'all hear Westbrook's comments earlier about saying like don't normalize this or whatever? Basically saying like
we do though. We normalize.
We normalize everything.
The triple double is a good thing now.
Yeah. We normalize triple doubles. I think we've normalized Giannis because nobody really freaking over like what Giannis is. Even though Giannis right now is like 30 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, some great.
Really, still and a half blocks and steals.
It's like 60 stuff. Yeah, and normalizing how Harden plays because he was saying like, everybody can't do this type of stuff, which I feel like, we kind of have normalized Harden because, I get it. Like maybe it's really not, when it comes down to it, going to be championship basketball with the whole ISO thing like that. But it's still kind of amazing when you think about it. Like we weren't really watching a guy at the 3-point line just dancing with people on an island, and it had to be respected the way it does with Harden. Even if you don't always shoot the highest percentage, it's always a guy up there. You saw the highlight I posted on Twitter against the Wolves, like that kind of stuff, right? Like you feel like that's been that wasn't really normal before him, right? Like that was considered a terrible fucking shot before.
It was.
I mean, you can make arguments. Still kind of is. But.
Yeah, and that you can, but the difference is like with Harden, even with it being a bad shot, you have to be right there because like for the times it might go. You know what I mean?
Well, I think some people tend to look at when he's not hitting and he just constantly doing it over and over. So it's kind of hurt his. Yeah. Why people don't appreciate him. But yeah, it's hard to do that.
Yeah. And
because it's always the thing that hurts Harden the most is that there's always a dichotomy between his outstanding performances and then his good performances, but he like took 40 shots to get there.
Right.
He do the same
Or the
play
shots where he did, or he
every
did it,
time,
or he didn't, he didn't hit the shots.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's about because his game is going to be the same in all of those instances. He's going to stick to his bread and butter.
Right. And yeah, that's why I'll say, like, you know, I say the two things. One, it's really not playoff. You know, who knows if it's actually going to work. If it's going to take, because he has good playoff performances. And that's not what we're saying. He's put up good series before. It's talking about actually getting there and going all the way and getting over the hump he hasn't gotten over yet. And then B, just it being boring sometimes. You know what? Whether the shots are going in or not going in, because sometimes like you're watching the Rockets and like you know what's coming. Like every time, no matter which play you tune into, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of Harden.
So was Westbrook saying he's underrated or unappreciated? What is
I think his ability to draw fouls is something that no one else in the league can do.
Yeah, people hate that about him. That's what people really hate.
Okay, they just hate because you get in that way.
Well, people feel with Harden, they say like he games the rule book or something like that, or you know, people will say. I mean, and then they take like one example and they'll, you know, say, look, this is why we hate him. Like that time he elbowed Buddy and that dude got the foul. I can't remember what it was.
I know you're talking about. It was I don't know, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah. So people hate that about him. But yeah, you were asking about Westbrook comments. Westbrook was just saying don't normalize it because like what he's doing right now. Like what is? Let me look up Harden's averages right now. He's basically saying like Harden's averages and the way he plays basketball. Like this is not normal. This is not just easy to do.
We normalize everybody except LeBron. Let's keep it 100. In the league, we normalize everybody else.
At a point, we normalize LeBron too because last year.
Every time I see it,
every time he has a stat line, you hear it. Every time it's a stat line, you hear it, bro.
I mean, I feel that.
Oh, Giannis did that? Oh, that's cool.
Also, but I mean, like in terms of like normalizing LeBron, I mean, like in the year he had last year, that was considered a bad year, and his stats were still like better than most of the league. Right. So. Yeah, like, okay, so this is Harden right now. Harden, for this week, our checkup on him. Like, this is fucking crazy. 38.5 points. That's his highest average ever right now. That's his highest points per game average. 7.5 assists, 6 rebounds. Now he's shooting 34% from 3, so it's getting up there a little bit. And 42% from the field. So all that's starting to stabilize. He's starting to get around where he normally is. That's still pretty ridiculous.
Dude is a scorer, though.
Yeah, regardless of whether you like him or not, that's kind of ridiculous.
It is people hate when they see this crazy stat line. And they see the free throws.
Yeah, they'll see that there's like he shot like 25 free throws.
That's what I was gonna say next. Actually, he's taking the most free throw attempts of his career right now too, 14 a game. Right. That's a lot.
It's not just the number of free throws he takes, but just the number of free throws he takes in reference to literally everyone else in the league.
Yeah,
like if you like looked at everyone else, he's like the one outlier that's
his chart way up there.
Well, okay, but that also goes to like people hate on that, but that also goes to how hard he is to guard. Because at the end of the day, it goes to that island play that I posted on Twitter. Like, you one-on-one with him, he's either going to shoot it and you're going to have to try to contest it.
Well, is it hard to guard or he looking for that?
Sometimes, like, the bullshit he does when he, like, kick all the way out, he'd, like, do a Mortal Kombat kick after like 3. That's fucking annoying.
Like what you call those torpedo kick or something?
Yeah. It's like that part in, like, a video game where everything stopped and, like, a special move happened or something like that. Yeah. Right. That happens sometimes with Harden. And a couple of players have adopted that, trying to kick out when you get a three-pointer. That's annoying, okay? That's
down mid-air.
Every player drives to the rim, they throw their head back when they get it. Like, that's annoying. But like back to that island play though, that specific one. Like, you have to stay with him. You have to contest it as hard as you can so you can try to make him miss it, which a lot of times leads to a foul. Or he blows by you again because, especially with the way the Rockets roster is set up, there's shooters everywhere. Yeah. So you can only go one-on-one with him. What are you going to do? Leave a shooter open?
He blow by and like try to do an alley to Clint.
He'll blow by you, he'll get an alley, or he'll draw a foul because
it's a double-edged sword, literally.
Yeah. That's kind of what makes it, that kind of explains where he is right now. So that's again, like I said, I stick by my sword. He can be boring to watch sometimes, but this shit is still crazy though. Like, we got a guy. We never right now. Like, if let's say this stayed here, I think he's gonna end up averaging more around probably like 35, 36 realistically. Right. But like, if you average something like 38 or 40 in 2019, we never thought that was gonna happen again.
No,
Come on, it hasn't happened before.
That's Wilt era.
Yeah, like a 40 points per game. That's never happened.
If you're in any conversation with Wilt, you gotta appreciate that, fam.
Like Jordan Tyus was like 36 or 38, I believe. His averages
37.
Something like that.
But I'd also look at, especially when you look comparing it to the old stuff, look at pace.
Yeah.
And what the average points per game these teams are scoring.
Right.
Because like when in 05-06 or the last year where everyone exploded for those high points per games, if you look at what teams are actually averaging a night, it's nowhere near what teams averaging now.
Yeah, so that's the thing that people immediately will go to with Harden is they'll say,
Pace.
oh, it's the pace or whatever. But still, we've been talking about pace now for a couple of years and how it's been. Still, we say like nobody's averaging 40 though, right?
Right.
Yeah, nobody's been saying, oh, one day someone's gonna average 40, someone's gonna average 50. We stabilize at around like 35. We say like, yeah, that's kind of where that's an average, fam. That means that's your average throughout the year.
Yeah.
So if he stays around 40, that will be pretty bananas. But
Well, I got a question, right?
yeah, go ahead.
Has Harden surpassed AI?
Has Harden surpassed AI?
Yeah.
I have to look at their actual because right now Harden
he already got
they
an
both have
MVP.
an MVP. They both have. I mean, I will say this because I don't have their resumes pulled up right in front of me and doing like analysis or whatever like I've been doing with the rankings. But like by the time it's all said and done, yeah, Harden will have passed Allen Iverson.
Yeah, because this
all
is
time.
this is some wild scoring
I
he's doing.
agree with Dom.
Like the thing that people will hate to admit, but it's just facts, is a lot of the players we've grown up watching are going to replace a lot of the older players, as it should be. I mean, people
Right.
improve. But yeah, Harden, I mean, it won't. I don't want it to, just push AI aside, but it won't be that difficult the way he's playing to pass
Yeah.
AI because at the end of the day, you look at things like AI's efficiency, what it did, because I see probably like a championship at Harden's future at some point, right? Probably another
Right.
MVP at some point. So,
Well, I know if he get another MVP, I think they'll close
Yeah.
that argument.
yeah. And AI's efficiency, of course, that brings to a conversation about he played in the day with less spacing and all that. So they would say like AI would probably kill today with actual space. And if like imagine having to go 1-on-1 with Allen Iverson
Yeah.
all game,
Well,
like
who are the Daniels getting twisted up?
right? Dudes would be playing Twister. So Iverson,
Yeah, you can't touch people.
yeah. So if Iverson wasn't playing with like Theo Ratliff or something like,
Yeah.
not Theo Ratliff,
Eric
like
Snow.
Tyrone Hill,
Yeah.
Eric Snow back in the day, I'm pretty sure his numbers would have been higher. So the
Yeah.
efficiency thing isn't really that fair to him.
I feel you though.
But like guys like KD, plenty of our people that we've grown up watching, like they're going to surpass these guys that we've romanticized from the past. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
That's just time. That's just how world works, man.
Yeah, like right now you got like MJ, Kobe, Wade. That's a 3 best shooting
Yeah.
guard. So Harden like could definitely end up being like 4 right there. He can end up passing Drexler. He can end up passing by the end of his career. He could definitely that's very doable. So yeah, there goes our little Harden spiel. Y'all saw Ben Simmons hit his first 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the memes.
That's all the Titanic thing. That's all I saw.
Right. I was wondering if he was gonna shoot him at all.
So
This
the
year
first
after.
time was in the preseason, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they killed the momentum of it though. Like I feel like it
Yeah.
would have been better if it happened, as a singular thing.
I didn't watch it live. Was the buzzer going? The time going down?
No, it was just a corner 3. Like he got in the corner, playing off of him as usual.
Wow.
And then
Just catch and shoot.
just catch and shoot. Like, and it looked nice. The form looked nice.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for with Simmons because he hasn't really, done anything to separate himself this year as far from like the other years. The last thing we're really looking for is his shooting, especially with the Sixers record right now. And
Yeah, that's crazy. If he keep doing that, yeah, you got the complete player.
Because the thing is, they need him to be able to space the floor.
yeah, exactly.
And they want to
So,
take it to the next level.
yeah, so yeah, we're cheering. We're definitely cheering Ben Simmons on. he finally hit. That's crazy. It's just what is this? The year 3. This is his 3rd year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is his 3rd year, and this is his first 3-pointer. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, I hope he starts shooting those more. By the time this podcast come out, I will have my center rankings will be up because my center rankings is going to go up in about 2 hours. So hopefully this isn't spoiling anything for anybody. But I wanted to know from y'all, who is the best center of this decade to y'all? If you look at like the 2010s, who was the best center like overall when you're thinking about like resume and play? Who would you rank number 1?
Forgive me for a second because I might mix power forward and centers together because of how
it's
front,
difficult,
because of how front courts look now. But if you're just going just purely on center, like you can make a case potentially for how crazy it is for Dwight to a certain extent.
Is that a Dwight or but Cousins didn't have no accolades.
Cousins been hurt and he didn't like.
You don't got no accolades or anything. If you combine numbers and accolades, it's Dwight. But the fact that he this dip off was so
hard,
crazy,
isn't it?
man.
This is the dilemma I have
It's not
writing
an
it.
easy not easy category.
That's wild.
That's the dilemma I had writing it. But again, this comes out on Saturday morning, so people have already seen it. Yeah, I ranked Dwight Howard number one. When I looked at everything, when I put everybody's resumes up as far as like the centers this decade, it's like you said, first thing you said with Cousins, like to be number one, his only accolades was 4 All-Star teams and 2 All-NBA teams, and that was it. No playoffs or until he got. But he had the numbers for a 4-year stretch this year from 2015 to 2018. He had like the 25 points and 12 rebounds and stuff like that.
But he never made. I don't even made the playoffs at all.
I was like, okay, I broke it down. I really broke down the Dwight thing because for some reason, like people are still having this, dinosaur debate of if Dwight is even a Hall of Famer. That's stupid.
That's mad stupid.
Yeah, that's clown shit. Yeah. But so I know people are gonna have a problem with me ranking him first. But I was like, okay. You break down, first of all, he came into the decade repeat Defensive Player of the Year. That's already 2 really, important accolades right there.
I thought he went, I forgot, it's only for the decade. Okay.
Yeah, the decade. Yeah, because actually that was a part of his 3-peat.
Yeah,
so,
right.
That's 2 Defensive Player of the Year. He put together 5 All-NBA teams, I believe, 3 of which were first.
Right.
You had the 2 or 3 defensive teams, 5 All-Stars, and then you talk about him those first 4 years of the first 5 seasons of the decade.
He was playing meaningful basketball.
Being
teams.
a MVP level. Like I think he came 2nd and 4th in MVP level. So not even that though. That's not even it. That's just his Orlando years. So after
wait. The 2 most important thing I mentioned with Dwight is he led the team to the finals.
That too.
He also prevent the Kobe LeBron final.
But that was in 09. But yeah, I get your point for the type of player he was. Yeah. For the type of player he was.
Yeah.
And the thing that people always forget about 09 Magic is that nobody came into that thinking that they were going to beat the Cavaliers. They were not the favorites in that series.
No, it was strictly.
Yeah. They were my favorites. I'll tell you that.
right.
We were convinced we were getting Kobe and LeBron that year. The Celtics were out of the way. Yeah. Magic came in. They were like, "Who are these guys?" And then it turned out to be shooters and the best center in the.
It was crazy because it was literally like the modern NBA now. The Magic only shot threes back then.
Yeah, it was like the guy in the middle surrounded by 4 shooters. So I think it's underrated the impact that team might have had coming into this decade and start shooting. But as far as Dwight being the best center in the decade, I think people forget that his fall off, quote unquote fall off, is kind of exaggerated.
Well, they didn't like him when he went to Lakers.
Even when he was in LA, if you take out the drama, he still averaged like 17 and 12.
It was still a double, and he was leading the league in rebounds, I believe, or blocks, one of those two.
He was. If you look at the numbers, he was still he was still doing it.
It's more of an image thing that people don't like him.
Yeah, so that was his Lakers and Rockets years where he was not Orlando Dwight anymore. I get that, but he was still one of the best centers in the league. Right. And in these last few years, his journeyman, where he was with ATL, with Charlotte playing no kind of meaningful basketball, he was still putting up. He was a double guy. Yeah. People are acting like he fell off to like 6 points and 6 rebounds on somebody's bench or something like that. So I feel like that's the fight that people are going to be having, is saying, oh, he was only good for like the first 3 years of the decade.
No, not at all.
It's like, fam, he was MVP level at the first like 3 or 4 years of the decade. Yeah. Then he fell off to All-Star level. Then he fell off to still like one of the better centers in the league level. And when you look at like you said, the center position kind of changing or dying off in the decade, there just wasn't that much competition for the first spot. It was DeMarcus Cousins at number 2, and then 4 All-Stars and 2 All-NBA teams and nothing else. Like that just to me really didn't. That wasn't enough to put Cousins in front of Dwight for me. So
that's a horrible list. If Cousins. Yeah, it must be a crazy center list.
The center position's dying.
What did y'all think about? Y'all haven't even seen the video yet. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I had Jokic at number 10. I had Jokic at 10.
Fam, based on how this, you trying to struggle to find the top 10, I don't knock it.
Yeah,
I don't knock Jokic.
Yeah, because the thing with Jokic again was, last year being his first star year, I would say. Before that, he had 2
when he
seasons.
Got drafted.
I think his first year was like 2017 or something 17? Like that.
Okay.
His first year was like 17. That's the other thing. He hasn't played that much this decade. So I had Drummond in front of him because Drummond, nobody pays attention to Drummond.
Drummond be putting work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been putting up like good double numbers all year, and all these years in Detroit. Has an All-NBA team, 2 All-Star teams. I'm like, he's not better than Jokic, obviously. This season, people will probably, because Jokic's not having a good season right now.
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna step the game up this year.
Yeah, and he's not really in shape yet or anything.
He was my dark horse MVP too, man.
Yeah, I was listening to our old podcast.
Yeah, he was my dark horse. I look
Jokic,
wild right now.
I mean, it's not your fault. He still has He still has a good amount of time to turn it around. The centers list was crazy. I ended up having Rudy Gobert at number 5. I had him at top 5.
Marcus All in there, Joel Embiid.
3. Yeah, Embiid was 6 for me. I had Gobert in front of Embiid because Gobert has the defensive player of the years, the defensive teams, the all NBA teams. Embiid's been on load management a lot of this.
Goldberg got all NBA teams?
No, yeah, he does. That's the crazy thing. I think he
he got like those
teams.
DeAndre Jordan type first teams. DeAndre Jordan type first teams.
DeAndre Jordan has a first team.
I know.
Yeah, he's saying that's similar.
We still doing you got to have a center type.
Oh, you mean like that type? No. Gobert's was not. Well, Gobert's was after that got abolished. He made one. Yeah. So that was the thing. When I stacked the resume up, I was like, Gobert, of course, again, I'm taking Embiid over him, I'm taking Cat over him. But for this decade, like, when you talk about two back-to-back defensive player of the year and the all-NBA teams and the decent numbers he's put up, double-double numbers for a while now, I was like, for now.
Embiid got MVP votes, though, man.
MVP, yeah, and that's cool and all. But I'm saying Embiid, doesn't really have his resume yet. Embiid hasn't played enough games. I was like, I put the caveat in there. If Embiid played more games, he would definitely probably have Gobert by now.
He could have had a rookie of the year if they wasn't acting all weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, you couldn't give a guy who played 31 games a rookie of the year.
I've been looking wild.
Brogdon looking crazy on stage with his stats in the background. So crazy.
Yeah, but it made sense.
I mean, Brogdon was looking crazy back then, but he looked nice now.
Yeah, but it was like weird numbers, like 14 points a game.
I was like 9.8.
Yeah, see, come on, man.
But I mean, they had no choice. Like, Embiid didn't even play half the season. Like, their hand was forced there. How you gonna give a guy an award?
They
for not
flash
playing half
Embiid stats and they show Brogdon. Like, come on, man.
It's worked out though. Brogdon is balling in Indiana right now.
But I'm gonna check out the video. I didn't know.
It hasn't come out
I didn't know
yet.
Goldberg had a first team. So I didn't know that.
Yeah. I have to double check to make sure, but he's got the.
You got him over Marc Gasol?
Yeah, Marc Gasol don't have that many teams actually.
You got a championship in defensive.
Well, yeah, that's why I put Marc Gasol third. He's third.
Okay.
He got defensive player of the year, championship, all star,
and the Spain stuff. You wouldn't count.
Well, I didn't count that.
That's more Hall of Fame type talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I already know just off the bat people because it's name recognition. I already know people are gonna have a problem with Gobert being in front of certain names. I know people are gonna have a problem with Dwight. Like that's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, they can't separate accomplishment from like talent. They can't separate it too.
Well, the other thing, even with that, is Gobert has been playing in the Western Conference, so like he has no All-Star teams, but he's had for a couple of years All-Star level numbers. Right. Talking like good double numbers and the defensive player. Like it's kind of crazy when you defensive player of the year, but not an All-Star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like because Ben Wallace had a couple All-Star teams, right?
Yeah, but I think he got rewarded. It's the East, so I'm pretty sure he got rewarded for
That's what I'm saying. Gobert is, playing in a different conference, like especially at the center position.
Man, still in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I still don't know what they're doing with
No.
that.
Yeah, Ben Wallace. Yeah, we gotta start a campaign on this podcast to get Ben Wallace because that don't make any sense.
He has 4.
He has 4 defensive player of the year,
and he
got a championship,
and he led the league in blocks a couple times.
Yeah, see, I value defensive player.
Well, you got Mutombo in the Hall of Fame. All right.
Hey, Mutombo deserve it though too.
But he don't got no ring.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Ben Wallace not there, but yeah.
Well, he is second in blocks all the time, so I guess it's cool.
It's like you said. Ben Wallace did something to somebody.
Yeah, he smashed somebody's wife. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, going because we're almost done here. We'll get to the ladder in a second. No, let's do the ladder first, actually, because then we'll talk about the jerseys and then Joker. The MVP ladder, I only counted the 5. So last week I made a mistake. They have the ladder's 10 people, but yeah, it kind of cuts off after 5.
10. That's crazy.
Yeah, they make you find the other 5. Plus, my thing is like if you're down there,
you're not getting it.
Yeah, unless you move up. Like this week, Luka actually moved up. He was 9th last week. He is 3rd this week. He's 3rd this week, actually. So the MVP ladder as of right now is Giannis, LeBron James, Luka, Harden, and Kawhi.
Kawhi should not be in there at all.
That surprised me. But they had him. Kimba was the option. They had Kimba.
I'd rather have Kimba than Kawhi.
Yeah, because
MVP vote. Come on, fam.
I mean, he's been putting up when he's here. Though.
I don't care, dog.
Yeah,
it's too much capping,
dog. I feel like
it's
about games played comes into it as well.
Yeah, and that's why he's not going to win.
He's the best player in the game when he plays. What kind of state?
That's ultimately not good.
That sounds stupid.
That's all. Yeah, that's ultimately why he's not going to win it. But like again in the Celtics game the other night, like he had the block and then he had the game sealing block actually, and then the dunk before that. When he's there, like he pretty much does what he's supposed to be doing.
You know, like fam, I would have gave Kimba the knock. Kim actually play the games.
Oh, speaking of that, we didn't even talk about. So did y'all catch the highlights or anything of the Celtics and Clippers game?
I saw a little bit.
Yeah. I was satisfied because last week we were talking about if the Celtics were even real. Somebody asked us that question. That was an Instagram question, and so I was like, you lost the game against the Clippers. No shame in that with Paul George and Kawhi being out there. But what I was looking for was just they would have looked crazy if they came into that game and got blown out or some shit after they done beat like all these other subpar teams. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, you would have looked crazy. They went there, they were competitive, they almost won, and I still look at it as like we're missing one of our best scorers too.
Hey, take the 30-piece family meal.
Oh no, and no excuse. Like we lost the game. I'm just saying, like in terms of like what it means for our team.
Right.
I feel like it's in a good place because like you look at, we're gonna get Hayward back probably next month and go forward. Celtics actually got a really good shot this year, I think, because
because last week when we were saying that we were saying that we kind of believed in the Celtics and you thought that we might have been jumping the gun a little
Oh no,
bit.
I was just saying. Like,
Yeah, we were showing his team love.
No.
Come
All I
on,
said was
man.
wait until we get a game like against the Clippers. You know,
It was a
like,
good loss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, L is an L, but like I'm satisfied with it. We would have lost by 15, 20. It'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you can come out here and beat up on.
Y'all on a
these
road
other
trip right
teams.
now?
Yeah, we play the Nuggets tonight. See, that's another one. Like we gotta, at least be
Yeah.
in that game. You don't want to look crazy against all the good teams. 'Cause-
Well, they got excuse was we're in Denver, so the climate and all that, all that stuff.
elevation.
that probably makes a difference.
I know, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, everybody say it makes a difference that being up there.
Mile high and all that.
Yeah, I'm playing in that. But I mean, it's never helped them, make it that far. But it never helped them make it that far. But yeah, apparently that's a thing. Yeah, back to the MVP ladder though. Luka again, he put up some like crazy ass numbers this week. Triple doubles, all that.
Like outscored Golden State.
Yeah.
In like all realistic categories. In like
How
the
is
first quarter.
Porzingis playing?
He's still like he
still getting post up?
Yeah, no, he ain't posting all the time soon. Yeah, look, this is like, it's funny. Like when it first happened, when Luka's been playing this well at the start of the season, you're like, oh, well, it's probably because the Mavericks have Porzingis now. I have no doubt, having another star on the floor helps, but Luka's really
I don't include Porzingis at all in this.
Yeah, Luka's doing his damn thing,
Yeah,
bro. Like this dude is putting up all types of
I saw a 42 triple double one. Like it's crazy.
The night they played the Warriors, they he had more points than them in like the first quarter.
Yeah,
I got a question.
How much points, rebounds, and assists?
How much
I'm
stock
pretty
you
sure.
put on playing against bad teams?
How much stock? Well, that's what I'm saying. That goes back to the Celtics conversation we were just having. It's a combination of what you do, against those bad teams, but also against when you're playing against good teams as well.
But he's
Right.
been putting up numbers against
Everybody.
really legitimate
Yeah.
competition as well. It's not just
Yeah, I saw some NBA stats. First player with 300 points, they were like some weird stats.
Okay, I'm not about these you start counting individual
First 10 games, I don't know.
Hey, he's hooping though. And again, of course, you play tougher teams, it gets tougher. Like when the
Right,
Mavs played
right.
the Celtics the other day, that was a closer game. We had Luka, we had him contained a little bit for a while. He wasn't just getting off. Like he had like 25 against the Warriors in the first the first half. That's why I found it funny. Did you see Shannon Sharp's tweet about like, oh, now the Warriors are learning what it's like to be like a regular team? You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, bro,
Brothers G League is out
I was like,
there.
yeah. I was like, I'm sure Kai Bauman and Eric Pascal are heartbroken. They're not in the finals again this year. What are you talking about, Shannon Sharp? I feel like you just that's
wilding, man.
That's probably just banter for him. I was like, yeah, they have like one player maybe that's feeling this effect. What you mean the Warriors? Yeah, I know that probably gets at teams this year. Like they can't even get back at the Warriors for what they did all these years.
Not at all, man.
Because they're not even there to get back at them for. So yeah, that's Luka. Yeah, like you said, you don't agree with the Kawhi thing. You said you would rather have Kimba there. I appreciate y'all, man. I don't think Kimba has a chance in hell at the NBA.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
But I don't like Kawhi being there. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because
I just don't think Kawhi is gonna play enough games.
Yeah, he's not. That's not gonna happen.
He played 10 games yet?
That's kind of crazy to me.
How many games? We on 12, 13 right now?
Yeah, let me check right now. I will go to the Los Angeles Clippers for you, assuming that Google Chrome and its fucking RAN program allows me
we
to.
lost that sponsor.
Yeah. All right, Chrome ain't never gonna sponsor this podcast. I always have problems with Chrome. But yeah, I think honestly, like if your name isn't like LeBron, Harden, or Giannis, and then maybe Luka too.
Yeah, Luka is a sleeper.
Yeah, I still put Luka as like even with all of this.
I got him fourth. I really do.
It's gonna be because we touched on this earlier. I'm looking up the Clippers thing for you, but we touched on this earlier. But it's gonna be really, really hard to unseat Giannis in my opinion, just because, like you said, like Anthony Davis, like we said, we don't really count the MVP ladders, but Anthony Davis is 10th on the MVP ladder with LeBron. So like you have another MVP teammate on there.
Yeah, I don't know the history, but I'm pretty sure that never happened before. When the MVP, why you got someone your team's also MVP caliber.
Because Shaq and Kobe never got it because they took votes from each other.
KD and Curry.
So as this year goes on, and especially with LeBron telling AD like this is yours this year. As this year goes on, I expect that it's gonna wear a little bit. Where because you have to win MVP this year, you're gonna have to keep up with Giannis. That's fucking difficult, bro.
Yeah, man.
This man doing 30 and 11 every night. That's fucking difficult, and winning too.
Yeah.
And like looking like they might end up with like 60 wins this year. That's
He also
extremely
two-way player, so he getting blocks.
That's
too.
really difficult to keep up with. So that's why I say it's gonna be hard to unsee Giannis. Okay, the Clippers have played 15 games this year, and Kawhi. I can already tell you Kawhi ain't played none like that. Kawhi's played 10. He played 10 games.
Okay, he just hit it. Okay.
That's not terrible for
Why
MVP.
they start the 3 second game? I thought he like
I mean,
only
yeah,
hit
he's
like
played.
8.
Yeah, 66%. He's passing.
Yeah,
All right, hold on. Let me hit save on this real quick because
it's hard not to see Giannis. His second best player is Bledsoe, fam.
right.
Come on.
But they still got a decent team out there too. Let me hit save real quick. All right, so my laptop is in the process of trying to kill us off while we're recording. So we'll go ahead and we're about an hour of NBA content. That's pretty much the end of it. We will go ahead and look at the standings because we talked about the. Oh no, my bad. One more thing, one more NBA topic. The city jerseys because the city jerseys are being unleashed. Which ones do y'all like or dislike? I had it pulled up, but again,
I don't like Cream City.
Me neither.
jerseys.
Those look a little sus.
Yeah.
In 2019, it was approved Cream City, and I've never heard Milwaukee
Never.
call it Cream City. No, the thing is, like they've had a jersey that's like cream colored before, so like apparently this is a thing already. Like you remember that?
Yeah, you don't call it cream though.
This is a big reach.
Yeah, I was like, look, I've never opened up a Milwaukee game and heard like, yeah, live from Cream City, like so it's not a well known thing,
Right.
So like the fact that we're gonna see games like we're gonna hop on TNT in Jersey that's gonna say Cream City, that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the color and the jersey, but like cream, I can't.
And
believe
plus, I don't like the font. I don't like. Oh, I'm big on font.
the fact they did that in 2019 is kind of wild.
Right.
You were saying that the Lakers should have done the Crenshaw.
Yeah, Crenshaw, baby.
But I would say
There's no way that was.
I didn't believe that was realistic. I didn't believe that
The
was
reason, okay, like we brought it up. Brooklyn have Bed-Stuy, and that's for Biggie.
Right.
And he's from Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, for big. But okay,
Nipsey is from Crenshaw.
yeah.
Okay, and he was a reformed gangbanger that did a lot for his community. I'm serious.
No, I get that. And it definitely.
Biggie sold crack.
Respect.
What y'all want? Like I like.
In all respect to Nip, absolutely. Like I get, because he was before he died, he was trying to get the gangs.
He
and the cops to
was,
work
you
together.
know, man.
Yeah,
he did a
we
lot.
all know what he was doing.
Yeah, we know what he was. I love the Crenshaw jersey. I thought it was a great idea, but I was trying to explain to you why the NBA wouldn't do that.
I'm saying they got Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, they got best stuff. But
That's
I'm
for
saying
Biggie.
no. We're,
I don't-
but
I'm
that's
saying
a
because we don't like.
So you don't-
What color is jersey gonna be?
The Biggie jersey?
No,
You have a blue Crenshaw jersey.
It's blue.
The NBA wasn't going to do that.
No, he ain't gonna do
The
that.
NBA wasn't going to do that, bro.
I don't see the difference between the two.
Because the whole thing, like, okay, another thing is this is like
Because the thing
Biggie
is,
is like
Biggie's a one-off, but he might be like saying affiliated with.
right.
other things.
Because my point was like you can't go to Crenshaw repping certain sets, right?
Nah.
You can't walk in Crenshaw weapon certain sets. Okay, that's the other thing. Biggie is like now, what, like 20, 25 years ago. Crenshaw, this is like going on now. You know what I mean? This whole thing.
What?
This is happening now. Like you got blue
So will
Crenshaw
you-
jersey.
will
They
you-
still play Victory Lap.
Will you? How about they did a different color? Like, okay, you got the blue, now you got
Then it
like the
wouldn't make
baby
sense.
blue.
Then it wouldn't make sense.
You know, they got like the
You can't
sapphire.
have a yellow Crenshaw jersey.
Yeah, that don't make
There was a reason it
They
was a
don't hit
blue
the same,
Crenshaw
man.
jersey. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I get it, but I'm saying we honoring, and you know, Nipsey did more for the community than Biggie did.
Absolutely.
So I just figured that.
I love what Nipsey was doing, but I was trying to, like, it's not realistic. The
I'm
NBA was
saying
gonna have a blue
Biggie did
Crenshaw
make the
jersey.
10 crack commandments, so he was not like no some.
But okay, Bed-Stuy is not exclusively for Biggie.
Yes,
though.
it is. It's strictly for Biggie. That
It's
whole
strictly
the
for Biggie?
Coogee lining was for Biggie.
Yeah, it is.
The Bed-Stuy is
It
for
is.
Biggie.
And
Yeah,
again,
man.
that's about 20 years old now. That's like a
Yeah,
reference to some
I guess.
20 years.
I'm
ago.
not even knocking Biggie. Biggie's one of my top 5,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
fan, he was out here doing wild stuff on his
Yeah,
records.
he was. Yeah, but like, a blue Crenshaw jersey right now.
Bro, I
I'm
feel
like,
you.
you wear that in the wrong.
You don't want a
hood.
fan get shot up because
Yeah, you wear that in the wrong place. I feel like that's probably not a good. That's not going to end well. You know
right.
what I
I
mean?
feel you.
Yeah, but I did love the blue Crenshaw jerseys. You know, but there's no way they.
That was some crazy. The blue Crenshaw was some new release LeBron's blues. Man.
Yeah, and NBA didn't want people set tripping at their games.
Yeah,
so,
I feel you on that.
what other jerseys we got? You like the Orlando ones? I'm not
Well,
really.
I don't love it, but it's not trash. It's for Orange County. That's the county that Orlando, resides over. But
How does Magic fan feel? How you like? Do you like it? You're the one that has to live with it.
I mean, They're not the best, but they're not the worst either.
Who said Florida oranges? You did.
I did.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was thinking between Orange County and the fact that Florida produces oranges. That's why.
Yeah, it's
they're
Orange
I'm pretty
County.
sure that's why they did it. Yeah.
It can't be for the Florida orange. That's wild.
Yeah, I think it's more like Orange
Tropicana
County.
and all that
Indiana got some real nice ones. Denver's is real. Did you saw Denver's while you were scrolling? The
Yeah, I
black
saw
and
it,
rainbow.
yeah.
Those are fire.
They
I
always
like
have the
those.
rainbow thing. What a rainbow mean? The pride thing or the?
Nah, because that's been going on since like back in the day. Like the
yeah,
rainbow.
yeah.
Like I don't actually don't know what it's for.
Nah, I don't get the
Denver.
rainbows, but
Actually,
it's a
I don't know,
dope.
but
I like the colorways.
Denver that's the one thing that stayed consistent on their jerseys. Like you gotta have the rainbow somewhere, pretty
Yeah.
much. Except for the time when Carmelo was there, they ditched them. But on like their throwbacks and stuff and like their references, they had the
Yeah.
rainbows. But that's a fire one. What other ones that we like?
I like the Philly one.
Yeah, the Philly were
Fire.
nice.
I didn't see the Warriors. It's like they didn't even care about that one.
Fan, nobody playing over there, so they're like, man, next year, y'all.
What were you gonna say, Rod?
Was it the Timberwolves?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So the Timberwolves ones like that again. That's like the Lakers throwbacks because back then they used to play in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and that's the Timberwolves are pretty much that same color and
Same accurate letters and stuff.
Okay, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this
You like your Boston? Boston
Yeah, I like
finally
the
got a
Boston
different
ones.
font.
When y'all remember when Ennis Cancer accidentally revealed them last month, right?
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, they looked a lot worse when he revealed them. Like I like them.
Yeah, that camera, man, part horrible. Man.
Yeah. Man got 2010 Android.
Yeah, I really like the Wizards. No, I'm messing with that.
I swear I've seen it. The Wizards Christmas jerseys when Paul Pierce was there.
Yeah, same ones.
But that's what the Wizards did.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, that's what they look like. I don't know. I
That's
swear
it's a lot of history in that city. They should have did something different.
Yeah.
A lot of ways they could take it.
I've seen the
but-
Wizards before.
I don't like the Mavs.
Yeah, Mavs is terrible, bro.
Yeah, I don't like graffiti on
Mavs look like a Disney, Kristaps look like a Disney protagonist in that picture. That shit is ugly.
But it's still Christmas or something.
Yeah, that shit's terrible.
But you like the Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn's fire.
nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would rep that. Bulls is beautiful.
Yeah.
Chicago's is beautiful. They
Yeah.
got the light blue and the red. I'm not sure what it's referencing at all, but that shit's
Neither.
fire.
Yeah.
The Lakers was kind of regular to me. The Lakers kind of look similar to all this stuff. Got stars on the side.
Should have did a Crenshaw, whatever.
Yeah. I don't think I was ever. Yeah, that's not realistic.
Man, that shit been hard, dog.
That would have been though. Yeah, LeBron got a custom. He got that custom made. The Crenshaw. He got it custom made for itself. Yeah, that's fire. Rip City, like they always go with that same like similar designs. Theirs is fire.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, there were some good ones this year. The Pistons, they struck out. That shit is ugly. Pistons look like a soccer jersey. It got like two stripes down the middle.
Yeah.
Look like Barcelona.
It does
Pistons.
look like Barcelona soccer jerseys.
Yeah, but that's not good for basketball.
Peachtree,
Look like a referee jersey.
Atlanta.
Peachtree is fire. Yeah,
Pretty
they
nice.
had a court thing going with that too. They did that
Really?
court that night. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess every NBA team is gonna do something like that.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it was city jersey, but I know Toronto had the Huskies court one time last year.
Yeah, I remember that. I did not see
Huskies.
Toronto City jerseys. Did you? I didn't
Nah, I didn't see
I didn't
those.
see them either.
I didn't see
Yeah.
those or Phoenix.
Yeah, I didn't see them.
No.
Houston got the H Town. I didn't really like those. It just says H Town.
I'd rather have that than the China thing. I don't think they could.
Those
right?
are those. Oh yeah, no, they can't even do that. If it was actually Chinese writing, I actually
That'd have
don't
been
know.
so
Yeah.
crazy there. Like, I
no,
can't do the China right now.
Yeah, they gotta take that out. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we got for the city jerseys, and that's pretty much what we have for the NBA part of the podcast. We only have a little, like really almost nothing to talk about after the NBA. I always read y'all these standings every time we get to the end of the podcast. This week again, it just felt like nothing changed, but like there wasn't that many big games. So we have again the Milwaukee Bucks stand at first seed. The Celtics will hopefully change that tonight. We'll be tied with them. Celtics are second. Miami's still third. Oh, they're still looking nice. Jimmy Butler, by the way, was on the MVP ladder. I believe he was ninth. Toronto is fourth. Is about what we expect. Philly is fifth. Pacers 6. Magic 7, and that's 8. So the Magic, they're still there. But again, like all of these teams are still in play. So if you're listening to the podcast and you have not looked at the standings, go look at them after this. You wouldn't believe it. Like literally every Eastern Conference team could still make it. It's wide open.
That's crazy.
That is like, I when the Bulls were off to a bad start in the Knicks, I was like, oh, okay, cool, another year, then be a bad. They might be in the playoffs, so whatever. On the West side, you have the Lakers at 1, 12-2, Rockets at 2, Denver Nuggets at 3, despite Jokic not being in MVP form yet. Clippers at 4, Dallas 5, Utah 6, Minnesota 7th, and Phoenix 8. And yeah, people are still in play here too, but you know the West, as time goes on, it's probably not realistic. You're going to replace some of these teams. The last thing I didn't mention, this sucks, right? We talked about Giannis last week on the podcast, and we were talking about his 3-point shooting, and it was 29% when we were talking about it, and like right after that, it went right. It's actually gotten to a point where he's shooting the 3-ball pretty well, so I wanted to give him his credit on that if you guys hadn't noticed.
That's dope.
Like he saw, see now again it's back to 29, but when just last night it was, yeah, it's fluctuating a lot right now. But so that we did actually give him his credit, he's shooting them a lot more this year. Because we were talking about contrasting from him and like Ben Simmons, you know, and what the team would actually need. Giannis right now is taking about 5 of them a game. He's taking about 5 threes a game. He's not really shooting well. It's at 29%, but you know the willingness is there to try to improve that. The Bucks are going to need that to make the finals this year, or even win it. They're going to need his free throw percentage too. His free throws look crazy this year. Like he's shooting 60% right now. So
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's Giannis for you. All right, so that'll be the end of the NBA podcast. There's really only like one interesting thing that happened this week in terms of like media, because none of us have really played Death Stranding anymore. They said that Joe. Yeah, I think I'm done with Death Stranding, to be honest.
Man, he put out a tweet last week. Wow, it's so fascinating. Something he said.
No. What I said was I can't explain why I like the game. Like I can't explain why.
And
I
after
like
that, he
playing
just
it.
like fuck all this.
Yeah, no, but it's like the more I played, I was like, yo, this is kind of a chore. Like it's really turning me off as the controls. Like, you know, but has that happened to you, Rod, when you're trying to climb up some shit and like it just started like glitching, like you start like sliding and slipping and sliding everywhere?
I mean, are you looking this? Well, I mean, if you use like the radar thing, it'll show you what places you shouldn't like step on.
I'm saying though, like,
you doing all that?
Because I mean, some places have better grip.
I'm saying though, like it'll look like it's not even like I'm trying to just like brute force the game, right? Like at certain places you look like you can climb, and then like you get on it and like the controls seem kind of terrible sometimes. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's not a video game no more.
Yeah.
If you gotta pay that too much attention to a game, it's not even a game.
I just haven't had time.
You still have to control right and left arm separately.
Yeah,
and
when
all
you're balancing, like, and I've seen some more footage like later in the game. Like it just doesn't look like it's gonna get interesting enough for me. Then you got games like Star Wars.
I thought y'all told me after 10 hours it gets some action.
Oh yeah, you do. But I've also saw some footage like what the shooting looks like and shit like that. Like it turns into a shooter at near the end, I guess, and it looked kind of whack to me, bro. Like the boss fight looked kind of whack. Like I don't know. Yeah, like I might be abandoning this because it got like all these other games I just bought, bro. Like you got Need for Speed out. Like I'm enjoying Call of Duty story mode.
Right.
Luigi's Mansion. The Star Wars came out. Any of y'all Star Wars fans? Either one?
I mean, yeah, I am, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
I still try to watch the first 3 from the 70s and 80s, but
Star Wars just came out with a game, and it's like they mixed like Uncharted elements with it apparently. So that shit sound fire. That, yeah, that sound real fire. Like, you were talking about a game you should buy. Star Wars looks like, yeah, I just don't really have time for it.
Yeah, I know got in those intergalactic type.
I've never watched the Star Wars movie.
I was kind of wild for that.
Well, I watched it, but you know the timeline's backward. They do the first 3 back in the day, then they do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they start a story backwards.
Right. I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is Star Wars like the biggest piece of media? Like,
people get wild off that.
Yeah, like because Disney down here they have like a whole Star Wars thing they just built like a whole. Yeah,
Star Wars is really like that.
Because I went to it with my brother because he worked at Disney, so we got in. And like everything is just like it's like a little like Star Wars planet they built. Like the sodas and like these little orbs and shit like that. And the bars. Like a Star Wars DJ.
Yeah, Lucas, he created a gym with that. That's a very creative thing he created. That's a real life on its own.
Is that one of your favorite things, right? You're the only one here to actually watch it. Is that something like, is it really Star Wars like the hype? You know, is it?
I mean, OG stuff, yeah. Current stuff, Jerry's still kind of out on that.
Yeah, so the story's still going on after all.
Yeah, I think the last one they did was Rogue One. No, Rogue, something after Rogue. They dropping one right now.
Yeah, one's coming out in December.
It's like 9 of them.
Yeah, episode 9 comes out.
But the problem for me, they did it backwards.
Yeah,
like in the heyday with Harrison Ford, they were doing episode 4, 5, and 6.
Well, and I guess in defense of that, to a certain extent, when the original Star Wars did come out in like the 70s, like 77. It wasn't no episode 4. It was literally just Star Wars.
Okay.
It wasn't until episode 5 or the second one came out, people were going in there expecting to see Star Wars 2, but then they were surprised to see that it was actually episode 5. So it was actually kind of that was probably like the first retcon that Lucas did was making it so that there's actually stuff that happened before the first
story.
Like
when I watched Star Wars, I thought Darkseid was before the red demon face guy with the horns.
Oh,
that was on every McDonald's cup.
Yeah, I know you was talking about.
I thought he was after Darkseid, but from the the timeline he's before. See, I don't like stuff that going like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no clue where to start. Like,
and everybody hate the Jabbar. Everybody hate for Serena. I don't know why.
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, Jar Jar.
Yeah, look.
yeah.
I don't know what the hell he is, but some.
I would say watch it in original order. So start with.
I'm trying.
Like, would you be able because the first one was like the 80s, right?
70s.
Yeah, so
I
still got start there.
I still got on pause right now. I walked like 20 minutes. Like I'm gonna get back to this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I could be interested.
Each movie like over 2 hours, I think. So
yeah, it'd be hard for me to go back. Like, being spoiled off of today's media. Like, I don't know if it would hold up enough for me to go back and like. I don't know. Anyways, there was a rumor this week that we thought was true. Like, Complex posted it and everything that there was going to be a Joker 2, and then I guess they rescinded that. I don't know if there's actually going to be a Joker 2 now. I talked about that on my podcast when I went to see it. That was an amazing movie to me. Eric hasn't seen it yet. Me and Rod have. Rod, I guess it's up in the air right now if there's actually going to be one. But would you support a number 2 of Joker, having watched the first one and enjoying it like I assume you did?
Well. And regarding the first Joker, I feel like part of what made it special was that everyone was coming into it thinking that it was just going to be a one-off and just be an original storyline for the Joker. So when you're doing sequels, there's a whole bunch of other things you need to take into place. But not even talking about the alleged sequel, I feel like because obviously we saw DC fail to do their own cinematic universe trying to compete with Marvel, because Marvel their execution was just about as perfect as you could be as far as what they did with phases 1 through 3. But if they could do like a cinematic universe that's geared towards adults, R-rated, or
like dark DC,
darker stories and more mature stories, I think that could be that's a segment that's not really.
They got a comic line for Dark.
Yeah, because they have plenty of material. It's just DC has obviously the best cartoon movies. Yeah. They have plenty of storylines. They just need to
remake Constantine.
They just need to use them.
You do Constantine again. Dead Man. Man.
Outside of just like a joke, I could see a Joker too, but I feel like that they have a whole host of just Batman villains they can move.
Well, okay, I haven't seen it, but do you believe it will hurt the lore of Joker if you do a sequel?
The thing is, the way that movie ends is like, I feel like you want more. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to talk about it because since you haven't seen it. Yeah, it was a really good movie. First of all, I think it's probably the best movie I saw this year. It was one of the best movies where I walked into the theater and I walked out. I'm like, damn, that's one of the best movies I ever seen. But yeah, a sequel could vary, knowing what sequels are, and especially because a lot of times they're motivated by money. Like, they came into this one saying, like, with Joaquin Phoenix, like, nah, we're not doing another one. This is it. Then you see like it make like $1 billion or something, become the most profitable movie of all time.
Shit is based off money grabs.
That's what I'm saying. But again, that's what a sequel will probably be based off of. Is like, fam, we just made the most profitable comic book movie ever in a time with all these other movies.
That's what I'm saying. I would prefer it being like a part of something bigger versus it just being a second one-off money grab.
Yeah, so I can see what Rod is saying. Is like, yeah, if you're gonna do a sequel, start you done fucked up everything else with the universe at this point. Like, nobody care about Justice League, nobody care about Batman, Superman, like that's all. But like, okay,
dead, dog.
Yeah, right.
You kill all your best characters.
But people love Joker, like that's critically acclaimed. So if you're gonna come through, like maybe this is the time to and I don't know if you could just start a universe on a whim like this, but if you are gonna do a Joker number 2,
did.
Huh? that's literally what DC did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It didn't work. So I don't know if that's the best thing here, but just a sequel. I don't know if a sequel just a one. If it's gonna stay in its own universe, I'm not sure if a sequel would really work with this movie the way it was, because it was literally so focused on just Joker origin story and low budget and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So bringing it, I'm not sure where they would go with the sequel. There was no.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a sequel, but I think he could drop some more dark related storylines. Because Constantine the Dark Con, you got a lot of characters in DC Universe are dark. They got a lot of R-rated type of content.
And I would support that if they could. If they could, you know, especially with the tone of this movie, if they can make a universe out of that, like with movies like that and the origin stories, and then find out how to cross them over. Because at this point, I feel like that would be a cool idea, because you're not. It's kind of like the NBA Live and 2K thing, right? You're not gonna catch the other guy. DC at this point, you know, you use Superman and you use your best like weapons. A lot of your best weapons already.
I don't think they know how to relate to children.
They lost Superman. They lost Ben Affleck. Lost Cavill. They lost them.
And they got Buddy from Twilight playing Batman now.
Yeah, so you're not gonna catch Marvel with that on that side. You're probably not gonna catch Marvel at that side, right? Marvel is into their like new phase and everything. They don't wrapped up a whole saga. Like you're not gonna catch them doing that.
Batman can have cheekbones like that. You can't have high cheekbones.
Yeah. What movie?
Twilight.
Twilight. No, what is he playing with?
Batman.
The new Batman movie.
He's the new Batman.
So there's gonna be a new Batman origin story or something.
I guess. His parents gonna die again. All right.
See, that's what gets confusing with DC is like you do Suicide Squad, now they're doing the Suicide Squad reboot. They're not even gonna do it. It's not even a sequel, I don't think.
And what wasn't Idris Elba would be dead shot?
I see. Yeah, that's my thing. Just right now, DC doesn't have any order, because I could get behind like you have the Joker movie, you do like movies for a couple more Batman villains. Make it to the point where you see why Gotham needs a Batman, and then you have Batman.
Yeah, see, that would be fire. Something like that would be fire. Because even coming into this movie, like when I went to go see Joker, y'all know I didn't give two shits about Joker. I didn't know. I don't know anything about DC. I didn't know. I was asking y'all. I was like, what is Joker gonna do in a movie without like Batman trying to run his fade? And then they came out and it was a really beautiful thing. So. If you could make a universe with that type of stuff, I support it. They have the characters for it. DC.
If they do a Batman in his universe, Joker gonna be old as hell by the time Batman becomes Batman.
You say he's gonna be old as hell?
Yeah, because Joker's already old as hell in this first Joker.
I mean, he's not like.
It looks like he's 40, but I'm pretty pushing acting like he's late 20s.
Yeah, you're right. For Batman, because Batman is a kid in this, so like
when Batman started, he was like pushing 30.
Because if you could say he was like, I don't know, like 30ish, and if you just do like a 20-year skip, he would be like 50. So that's still.
Again, Joker's not like a physical villain anyway. Yeah, he cool.
So I think it's still kind of.
The Joker have other enemies besides Batman?
Well, Joker is the enemy.
He is that's what I'm saying. Like since we had an origin story with him, it seemed kind of like you know what I meant.
Yeah,
like,
most villains don't have like their own rogue gallery.
At least in Batman, Joker's always kind of like that wild card because. He's so unpredictable to the point where you don't want to work with him and you don't want to deal with him.
Yeah, there's issues where he, teamed up with other villains, but he don't have his own rogue gallery.
Because he'll team up with you and he might stab you in the back just for the hell of it. So.
Like he'll spaz out and try to he got a obsession with Batman, so he'll fuck up the whole plan and go after Batman.
Is that what happened in the beginning of that one movie where they were robbing the bank and then like he fucked the whole team? Like, cause
so he do shit like that.
Yeah.
I put to kill the bus driver. I put to kill. Yeah, he killed all of them. Yeah, he's that type of villain.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Rod.
I was also like he's the type to kill your henchman just because stuff like that.
No, did Joaquin Phoenix to you because you saw the movie? Did he beat Heath Ledger? In the Joker role, do you think? Does he hold the title as the best one?
I just feel like there was different portrayals.
I respect that answer. Don't jump in that fire.
I don't know what type of fire this is because again I haven't really been involved. So
because I mean
that's the best answer you can give.
Because the way I kind of view the two different characters is that Heath Ledger's was more active because in the Joker movie, I guess the city quote unquote started burning, but it was burning because of stuff that he did that he didn't actively like lead. But Heath Ledger Joker, he would have started the riot himself that would have burned the city down.
Well, I got a question. I ain't see it, but can you see the new Joker developing into Heath Ledger Joker? I'm assuming this supposed to be even though it's a different universe, but it's supposed to be prior to him becoming the full-fledged Joker.
There's a question for Rod because I haven't really seen the Heath Ledger Joker like I paid attention to it. I have it, but like I had it since the 8th grade, but like I never really like paid attention to it. So
your downtime, check Dark Knight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's a question for Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean like
whatever he asked about
like what I'm saying, like even though it's not the same universe, but this Joker with Joaquin Phoenix is supposed to be an origin story of the Joker character.
Mm-hmm.
Can you theoretically see Joaquin Joker becoming Heath Ledger Joker, based off seeing both film personalities, their ideology?
They're just
totally different.
Different, yeah.
All right.
Because in the Joker has more of like a
Which Joker?
This one,
Okay.
Joaquin. There's a lot of like of a mental illness. He was off his meds, and that partially, and all other factors contributed to what happened. Versus Heath Ledger is just is almost to the point where like I want to say Joker always has no rhyme or reason for what he does, but it was literally for Heath Ledger, he was literally just like when Alfred said some people just want to watch the world burn.
Right.
Like he literally epitomized that.
Okay, cool.
And versus Joaquin's, it was more of a sense of he was never seen, but now all of a sudden he now has all of everything that's happened has kind of almost given him a platform to be kind of capitalized on
cool.
what he couldn't be as a failed comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more of a reason, definitely,
Right.
from what's being described. Yeah, so that's basically, unless y'all have something.
But that's
more to
not
say
an
about
easy
Joker.
question. Just ask me off the cuff, though.
Yeah, I know. I see.
Yeah, I said I didn't look for any more confirmation of whether there'll be a Joker 2. I mean, to be honest with you, I'll be happy either way. Selfishly, I'd be happy.
I
to
just
see
feel like
another
they're gonna
Joker.
fuck it up.
Yeah, no, because sequels, hey, they especially motivated just by money. You
Yeah,
can't
I
easily
feel
because it was first one's a masterpiece. So
They're
selfishly, I'd
gonna
be
try
happy.
to cover ground with the Marvel universe and like, yo,
Yeah.
you just drop 6 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, so selfishly, I would be happy to see another Joaquin Phoenix Joker, but also like if that was just a complete hoax and it's a one-off, like I'd be happy with that too. To be honest with
Yeah,
you.
he's a
But
great
if they
actor.
do a second one, they gotta at least let the dude, eat a little bit. He can't be like freaking like.
He's a method actor,
be-
so that shit takes a toll on the actor.
Like, you can't have him be like
Yeah.
rib showing and stuff.
Bro, yeah, facts. Yeah.
Like I was worried about
Yeah, I got-
him as an actor. Like what? Can we just starve himself? For
Joaquin
like
said this took a mental.
Well, I'm saying he's a method actor, so he really get involved to the role he's playing.
Right.
So most of them people, it have like a psychological effect. Cause Heath Ledger was method acting.
He's and he didn't
When you try to
make
put a psychotic person with that type of shit, you going through stuff, man.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because like I've heard method acting obviously.
Like they really try to be the character even off camera and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like relax, G.
I can't remember who said. Oh yeah, your boy Michael B. Jordan said he had to get therapy after being Killmonger.
And you try to do a sequel of this shit? You know what I mean?
Because everything with Killmonger was like straight like negativity and like fuck the world. So like he had to go see a therapist like after that to get out of that mode.
Imagine cut and you gotta go to your trailer and you just come on. You got the makeup lady trying to do your face. You look at her like you trying to kill her. Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, you always on 100. Like
Yeah,
you can't go grocery shopping and like say hi to the cashier and nothing like that because you just like colonizer. That's crazy, bro.
terrifying the public's cash.
I'm not an actor, so I could never like imagine what being a method actor does to your head.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
everyone
That's
who's
hilarious.
described it be like, yeah, fuck you up for like a while
That's
afterwards.
funny.
So that's wild, hey man.
Colonizer.
It pays a bag though, so it's just like it's just like the steroids. People doing like The Rock doing steroids for movies and shit. Like if it's gonna be a bag, then whatever.
Bro, I feel you, man.
Yeah, so that'll go ahead and wrap up the podcast. We're at an hour and a half today. Yeah. Hopefully there's more entertaining games this week. Tonight we got a good slate: Celtics, Nuggets, Rockets, Clippers. There's another one that I was interested in. I for some reason just can't remember what it was.
Spurs in Philly.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and then tomorrow's really good. Miami. Jimmy Butler goes back to Philly too,
Okay,
so that's a good one. And yeah, so tomorrow has a good lineup. Yeah, so we looking solid, and yeah, there'll be some more stuff to talk about next week. So if y'all have anything to say to the people before we bounce, y'all have the floor.
I'm out.
Y'all stay safe out here.
Rob looking crazy. Like space is out. Like, yo, y'all stay safe.
You're on a streak. All right. Oh yeah, and this is also on Spotify and iTunes if it's easier for you to digest there. And yeah, we'll see you next weekend.